Hi, welcome. If it is your first time of stopping by or coming across my YouTube channel, you are highly welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you who always tune back to watch my program. May God Almighty bless you. You are free to leave your comment constructively. Like you know, I present to you information across the globe, especially Nigeria to be precise. And today, I present to you another exciting video which we are going to watch together. Now let's watch this video together, then come to my comment section and tell me what you think about the video. You are free to criticize, but constructively, as we watch the video together.
Yeah, come on. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much for coming here. Thanks for us to be able to talk to you. And if you could first maybe introduce yourself and your organization, if that's possible.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. It is not an organization per se, it is a movement of a nation to try to exercise their God-given right to self-determination, as recognized by every civilized institution around the world, including the UN and the African Charter, even the Constitution of Nigeria itself as well, acknowledges that people do have the right to seek self-determination, and that's exactly what we're seeking to take advantage of. Right. Very peaceful movement. It is a non-violent movement. We don't believe in violence. It's entirely peaceful. We agitate, we protest, we organize rallies, and we talk to people. That's all that we do. We've endured quite a lot from the Nigerian government. We are still enduring those forms of brutality against our people up until this very morning. They're still killing, they're still pillaging, they're still raping our women. But we have remained on the side of non-violence because we feel that is the best way to go.
I imagine that it's a difficult decision to take. Because in the long run, it helps you to achieve your goal. But I could understand if some people say, no, we have to suffer too much. We have every right to fight back.
It's very, very frustrating. We are inspired by the struggles and the successes of the likes of Martin Luther King and Gandhi in India, and we believe that although the temptation to fight force with force, to fight evil with evil, coming from a very civilized people, as we are, we would not mean ourselves by stooping to the level of the aggressor. So we intend to continue to speak to organizations around the world like yourselves to begin to make and consistently make the case for Biafra. We are not against anybody. We are not out to emasculate any economic interest. We are to try and do something that hasn't been done before. All we're trying to say is that the way that Nigeria, as a microcosm of what Africa has to represent, is structured, there is no way you can possibly extract any meaningful human existence from the present arrangement we have in Nigeria and by implication across Africa as a whole. So the best way for us to go is to try to return to how we were before the artificial colonial borders were thrown up. Exactly what Germany fought here in late 80s towards the 90s. As I've argued on a few occasions, the coming down of the Berlin Wall is one version of self-determination. The clash of ideologies between socialism and capitalism made it impossible for the great German people to be together as a nation. I want Germans to also understand that that is exactly what is happening to us in Africa today, and especially in Nigeria. What we are having is our own version of the Berlin Wall. And the best way to try and get rid of that is by allowing reason, logic, and common sense to prevail, and not by going to war. And we don't intend to go to war.
What are the means that the Nigerian governments, successive governments, have used in order to suppress human rights for Biafrans, self-determination for Biafrans?
A comprehensive and wholesale economic, social, and political emasculation of our people. It may surprise you to know that Biafra is in the main a coastal region, a coastal nation. Prior to the war, we had about 3 functioning viable seaports. I just want to make this, our suffering down, so another person can understand it. We are not agitating for Biafra for the sake of it. We are doing it because the political, economic, and social arrangement we unfortunately found ourselves in within Nigeria is workable for us. Port Harcourt Seaport is not working. Calabar Seaport is not working. Warri Seaport is not working. Now there is huge congestion at the Apapa Wharf in Lagos. Instead of the Nigerian government to open Warri Seaport, Port Harcourt Seaport, and Calabar Seaport, they've now decided to build 2 brand new additional seaports in Lagos rather than open the ones in Biafra. You may also be aware of the fact in the recently concluded elections that Biafrans were prevented from voting in Lagos, in Abuja, and in Kano. These are well documented by the observers that were sent by the European Union. There has been no notice of admonition. Nigerian governments have not been called or held to account as to why citizens of a particular country supposedly were not allowed to vote. I'll give you a simple example, again in Germany. You have a lot of people who are German citizens, but they have Turkish either parents or grandparents that is from the Turkish migrants into Germany after the Second World War. It is tantamount to saying to them that you will not vote in Bavaria, you will not vote in, say, in Hamburg, you will not vote in Cologne because you are Turkish. Do you see such a thing happening in Germany? But that is what is happening in Nigeria, and nobody is talking about it. When it comes to police brutality, military occupation, extortion, rape, kidnapping, all forms of what I call official banditry by the security arms and Nigerian government, all things we encounter and witness on a daily basis. All we do is we catalog them, we forward them to the likes of the organization, to the UN, to the EU, and nothing happens. So the status quo that you have here, or those supporting the status quo in Nigeria, which is the presence of the present political structure in Nigeria, will lead to the extinction of my people.
Who benefits from structure?
I think the colonial masters benefit from it. And also those whose interest is to ensure that Africa remains perpetually poor and subservient to powers that be around the world. You may also know that there is a great race in Africa right now, a new form, brand of colonialism, with the Chinese coming in and perhaps the Americans trying to stop them by engaging a few governments in Africa. I am not against economic investment in Africa. I'm not against the economic participation of powerful nations in Africa. In fact, I am a capitalist. I believe in laissez-faire economics. I want people to come to Africa to invest, to create jobs and opportunities for everyone. But there has to be a recognition that the arrangement that we, or as far as inherited after colonialism, is unworkable, has never worked, and will never ever work. That is why no single black African country is proud of its record. No single black country is developing in the rest of the world's development. All of them are dependent on handouts from Europe, from America, from Paris. And there is a reason for that. The reason for that is that the matter of divergent value systems is the key problem that we have. Allow me to once again reference Germany. There is a debate within the EU to allow Turkey to become a part of the EU. They're applying for years and lobbying to become part of the EU. Although they're part of the UEFA, you have Galatasaray, you have all the great football clubs from Turkey playing in the UN or UEFA Champions League. But yet Turkey is a part of the EU, and there's a reason for that, a very valuable one. The reason being that the system which is the way you understand as a group of people, the way you distill issues, the way you solve them, the way you resolve them, is who you are as a people. We all know it's called value system. The value system of an Islamic Turkish state cannot sync with what you have in Western Europe as encapsulated in the EU. In other words, to fit Turkey within the EU will lead to a lot of cultural clash and upheaval. So the thing to do is to allow Turkey to stay where it is and then remain friends with Europe. But if you are seeking similar union with, say, Canada or the USA, it will be far more easier to achieve because they are all Judeo-Christians, they have democratic values, they believe in human rights, they believe in having an open society, they believe in the rule of law. This is what binds Europe together as presently constituted. Now, if you come to Nigeria, for instance, the northern part of Nigeria, they're mostly feudal Islamic emirates. In the west, the Yorubas, educated, sophisticated and obeying, they're more monarchical in their outlook. We Easterners, we Biafrans, are republicans in nature. So having a state or a nation like Nigeria is like lumping United States of America, Iran, and Afghanistan into one country. And everybody knows it can never ever work. So that is the difficulty that most academics and scholars have failed to grapple with, that the present state structure in Africa is an impediment, a natural impediment to development, to growth, to rebuild civil society in Africa. And no part of Black Africa will be civilized until these core issues are fixed.
What do you say to those people who say that new countries mean new conflicts? New countries more for self-nation, for independence, lead to brutal clashes between different ethnic and religious groups.
The same argument was made before the collapse of the Soviet Union. The same was also made before Yugoslavia was dissolved, and to a lesser extent Serbia as well. You will recall and agree with me that Soviet was a nuclear power, isn't it? Was there a nuclear union broke up? Yugoslavia, to an extent, is saying there was the fear or paranoia about the Balkans. You know, the ripple effect it will have on the broader Yugoslavia be allowed to break up. Yugoslavia broke up. New emerging democracies came out as a result of it. Is there any war in Yugoslavia today?
Not today, no.
Exactly.
There are legacies of the wars in the 90s, but
absolutely. It did subside after a while. Exactly the same thing in Africa. It can be done in Africa. I think it's inverted racialism, that's what I call it. It's racism by another means. To think that Europe can handle disintegration of the mighty empire like the Soviet Union, that you don't expect Africans to manage their own disintegration. I don't think that is correct at all. You would also agree with me that Ethiopia from Ethiopia, and very recently, of course, the history of encouraging Southern Sudan came out of Sudan. Is a case how they were managed, more than else. If there is a recognition that the primacy of the will of the people at all times will be allowed to prevail, then there won't be any issues at all.
And let's assume that the Biafrans will become an independent state, will get their freedom after all. How do you envision the relations between a newborn Biafra and Nigeria? What's your vision for that?
That would be the same relationship that you and England. After all, the United States of America fought for independence, conflict for that matter, and broke away from the British Empire. And today they call themselves cousins that live across the pond. Will happen with us before the British came to colonize us. And we will not be at war when Biafra is separate. There seems to be this fear that the reason why we see Biafra is because of the huge oil and gas deposits we have in Biafra. That's not the case. We just want to live like any other civilized, normal country around the world and come to justice for asylum. we don't want to drown in the Mediterranean. We take thousands of kilometers across the Sahara to die of dehydration. We don't want to be left as victims. We just want to live an ordinary, dignified life.
You want to be the masters of your own fate.
Absolutely, which any normal human being will aspire to have. Yes.
Could you tell us something about your own personal history? You were born in 1967.
Yes.
The Biafran War had already begun.
Yes.
Do you remember anything of your first years on Earth?
Not actually, no. I don't know how it happened, but all I can recall was for those first 3 years, no, I can't recall anything at all. I know I was doting and loving parents. That's all I can recall, I can make of it. But it dawned on me when, about the age of 5, the Nigerian soldiers ransacked my village and destroyed the properties and took most of the men away because a young Fulani soldier molested one of our sisters and she retaliated. She spurned his advances and shoved him away, basically, and my village was up, and that was my first experience of what it means to be in Nigeria. The raiding of my village and the arrest and detention of our fathers and uncles and our brothers. Somebody wanted to rape my sister, and she said, my aunt actually, and she said no. So you can, and we have to live with that occupation for a very long time. But it seems to me that the more it went on, the more the world, like Biafra was one of those traumas that the world wanted to forget about. And that's what we get today.
And until today there has not been any national reckoning, not any reckoning, kind of reckoning, any reckoning with regards to the Biafran War, the crimes that were committed. It's not being talked about in Nigeria.
No. Because I believe that the powers that be around the world doesn't want to talk about it for reasons best known to them. People died, 3.5 million people, apart from the Jews of Europe, the second largest genocide in modern history. There was conscious effort to sweep the whole thing under the carpet, like it never happened. But for some reason, we may also ourselves be guilty of that because we did not do what we're now doing. Let's highlight the so we ought to show part of the blame as well.
Criticize young age. Yes. You told about the agreements you had when you were 5. Yes. Could you tell us about how you were politicized in subsequent years?
In subsequent years, that very that I had as a child stopped with me. And as time went on, we realized that Nigeria didn't want us to be there with them because they're as slaves, perhaps. So people that can exploit, people who will be made subservient to powers that be. But as time went on, it became we paid school fees to go to school. Others don't pay school fees. Others did not pay school fees. There's something called the education advantage states in Nigeria, which means that if I score 200 out of a 400 to a school, I will not gain admission or entry to that very school. If somebody else from somewhere has only 3 out of 400, they will get a private place in a boarding school, a unit school, they call it. Our parents had to start from scratch at the war. We were only given £20 money per male, adult, child, regardless of how much you had in the bank before the war. Immediately after the war, that money was confiscated by the Nigerian state and only £20 given to you. That is why today you have us in the business of buying and selling rather than manufacturing and goods of goods and services. The discrimination is not subtle anymore, very constant and sustained, culminating only recently in the Nigerian government or those.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for always watching Linda's TV show. I will see you again in my next video. Remain blessed. I appreciate each and every one of you, and keep on watching Linda's TV show. If you have not yet subscribed, please, I beg you to do that so that you'll be getting more updates from me. Bye bye. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time or first day of coming across my YouTube channel or seeing my face, you are highly welcome. Please willkommen zu meinem Kanal. My name is Linda Chukwuezi. It comes as Miguel. That red button that says subscribe, and you turn on the notification bell so that you'll be able to get information on the.
Bis zum nächsten Video und einen schönen Tag. Tschüss.
Tschüss. Bis man. Subscribe to Linda's TV show. What are you waiting for? Click on that red button that says subscribe. You turn on the notification bell so that you'll be getting more updates from me. Leave your comments down below and share this video with your friends, families, and colleagues until we meet again in my next video. Bye bye.